Hey everybody, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the 2017 March Hip Kits for this. It's my first layout using these kits, and they are so pretty. These are just some of the papers that are in the kits. You've got florals, you've got text, scripty print, you've got geometric, you've got everything. So for this layout, I wanted to use one of the cut files, and this is a beautiful flourishy cloud type cut file that Kim Watson designed. And as soon as I saw it, I thought I have got to use that. And so I love the shape of it. It's very different. It's very whimsical and very just light and fluffy clouds. Now, the trickiest part is being very careful when peeling it off of your mat because it's very thin. And yeah, if you have a sticky mat, you may rip it if you go too fast. So I had to take some time to peel all those little loops and flourishes and curves off very carefully so I didn't rip it. So there it is. Look how pretty that is. I love clouds, and I just think this is so cute. So what I'm going to do is go through some of the pattern papers and back some of the clouds, not all of them. I don't want these to look like traditional, I guess, regular white fluffy clouds in a blue sky. I want to sort of get a little bit more playful and do a little bit more color. So I'm going to go through and use some of the pattern papers, and it took me a little bit of time, as you can see here, because of the intricate design of these clouds. It was kind of tricky to cut through all those little rounded shapes and humps of the clouds, I guess you could say. So I had to be patient and work with this very carefully. So just know this in advance. If you work with this cut file, it does take a little bit of patience, but it was definitely worth it in the end, and I love how it turned out. And so all I'm doing is gluing the cut file to the paper that I like, and then very carefully cutting around the edges. And I'm going to do some of these. At first I thought I was going to do them all in different shades of pink. And then I thought, no, that's just too much pink. And so I do a few with pink, and then I bring in some of that yellow floral paper there that you see on the left, and a couple other colors. And I think it winds up looking really pretty. So I'm going to do the same thing here and just cut around it. And there we go. It's all finished. I pulled in some teal, some light mint teal. That's from one of the Project Life cards. That orangey color is also from one of the 4x6 Project Life cards. And then I also added a bit of vellum from a previous kit behind some of the clouds. And then some of them I left open. I'm going to use that cute black and white picture of my daughter. And when I saw the clouds, I thought, okay, I need some sun rays. And so I had this vision of sun rays kind of shooting out from behind the picture, kind of going up to the right, from the left to the right, behind the clouds. And so I knew I had this Heidi Swapp stencil that has the sun rays, and I just used it as a template here to draw some sun rays kind of shooting off of the page. And it's going to look really cute when it's all done and it's behind that cloud cut file. So what I'm going to do first is pull out my clear gesso and just use an old credit card and cover a lot of the paper with it, because I'm going to come over it with a lot of paint here in just a second. And I used clear because my paper's white and I didn't really need to fade away anything or anything like that. So I just needed a protective barrier. Now, this is something that comes in this month's color kit. It's one of the new Shimmers products. It's called Pasties, and it is a really pretty yellow texture paste, and it's going to dry with a flat matte finish. So there's no shimmer to it. And then I'm going to mix in a little bit of the white Acrotones paint from last month's, or from the February color kit, just to lighten it up. I want this light yellow color, and I'm just going to use a paintbrush and paint it right into these sun rays, because the yellow color that we get, Hold the Mustard, it's a very bright, bold, golden yellow, and I wanted this to be a little more soft, and so I added in the white, and of course that lightened it up a little bit. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to wind up stitching over the edges of all the sun rays here in a little bit, and so it didn't matter if it was perfect. I just wanted the color there. And this is still kind of bright for what I wanted, but I'm going to get all that color down first. And there you go. And you can see how bright that is. And I like it, but it's too yellow. So I'm going to come back over with some of the white acrytones and just kind of smudge it over, and just to lighten it up a little bit. And I just use my finger to smudge it. And I could also have used gesso for this. I like that a lot better so far. So I'm going to move on to my picture. I want to add a little bit of tissue paper and just get a little bit of a border going on there. And then my picture is going to be sort of over where the middle of the sun rays are going to be, right there. And this paper is so pretty. It's just from the new Chamel collection. And I just had to fussy cut out the word love. I love the color. It matches everything that I'm doing here. And I love to fussy cut. And these letters are simple to cut out. So had to do that, and that's going to serve as a big part of my title. So I'm going to come back to my background, and I have to do a little bit more work behind my picture. I want to bring in some of the colors that I've got in the clouds, so I'm going to pull in some different Shimmers products, and these are all from past color kits. I don't remember, well, the pink isn't, but the teal is. The pink is from my stash, but the teal is from a previous color kit from several months ago. It's colorings, and it's called Well Blew Me Down. And so I'm going to use the packaging technique like I do a lot, and just bring in some of the teal, some of the pinks. I'm going to just spray some directly onto the paper. I just want to, like I usually say, I know I say this a lot, but I just want watercolor splotches sort of coming out from behind the picture. That's Mandarin Mai Tai there. We got that several months ago as well, and it's more of an orangey yellow color. And I'm just going to kind of add some splatters and make it look a little messy. And I decide I need to white out some more of the yellow. So I'm going to take my gesso this time and just kind of fade out a little bit more of the sun rays. And I think it's going to look a lot better. It's going to make the clouds pop a little bit more. So as you can see, this background paper has a lot of stuff on it, but since I used that white gesso first, it really did not warp at all. So there you can see everything's dry, and I did some yellow machine stitching along the edges of all of those sun rays, just to give them a little bit more of a crisp look and to give a little more texture and interest. I love machine stitching. Now I'm going to take some time and just add some adhesive foam to the back of this entire cut file. You can see there I've got it all cut out, and this is going to give it a little bit of depth, and it's going to create a little bit of shadowing and just kind of pop it up off the page to give it a little more of a 3D look. But before I glue it down, I'm going to add a little bit of thread to the background, and I'm going to use yellow. I want it to be subtle, but just a little bit of something extra that you can kind of see behind the clouds in a couple of areas. And I thought about adding more blue to the background to, you know, further indicate a sky, but I didn't want to cover up. I don't know, I liked the white aspects of this page. I like the white showing through, the white on the clouds, and I didn't want it to be too busy. I felt like if I filled in the other sun rays, the open areas, with blue, it would just look like a big striped background, and I just decided to leave it yellow and white. It gives it a more a light and airy feel, I think. So now I'm going to come in and work on my embellishing. I'm going to use that cute pink thread from the Paige Evans Oh My Heart collection, and I'm going to just use it as a layering piece, but you can still see the pretty pink, and you can still see the sentiment at the bottom. And I really want to use that cute camera. That's from the Dear Lizzie ephemera pack, and so is this cute little bird. I wasn't even thinking of using a bird, but that bird fit perfectly on that little cloud right there. And I thought, oh gosh, that's the perfect spot. I have to use that. And I'm just going to play around with some of the other die cuts that I picked out that I thought might go. I'm going to use a cloud from the Chamel sticker sheet, although it's not going to be the cloud I just used. I am going to use this cute little floral cluster. The colors are perfect, and I needed something to layer over there on the left. I'm going to use that cute little rubber leaf stem. That's from the Pink Fresh Studio Rubber Charms pack. And then I changed out that little sticker cloud for a white and gold one instead of the teal one, because I thought I've got a lot of teal going on, especially with the title there. But I do need to pop of that orange over to the left, so I'm just going to hand cut a little tiny flower, and that's going to bring that color over to the left as well. More adhesive foam. I'm going to make sure that everything is raised up and looks nice and dimensional. And I'm also going to use a flower leaf or a leaf stem from the leather stickers that are from Pink Fresh Studio as well. And I pulled out this puffy sticker with the bird, and I set it aside for the time being, and I totally forgot to go back and use it. Since I'd already used a Dear Lizzie bird, I thought I would use a Pink Fresh Studio bird, and I totally forgot. So it will have to make an appearance on another page. Okay, so I'm adding in more thread. You know me, can never have enough thread. That's yellow, and I'm going to add a little bit of pink over to the right underneath that camera. Sometimes if your area, or if you're working on a certain area of your layout and you're missing a certain color, tangled thread is a great thing to add, because it's quick, it's cheap, it's easy, and it adds an extra little bit of color in whatever spot you need. So I'm going to glue everything down. I'm going to add another little sticker there. But because I use so much gesso, you know, things were not wanting to stick, especially the clear gesso. It's pretty gritty. So I had to make sure that things were pressed down and held down so the glue would really stick. It does stick, but it was taking a little bit longer to dry, so I had to make sure that everything was down. I'm going to glue down the word love, and I added in that cute little Oh My Heart piece that says Wonderful You, and so that's just going to serve as my title. This wasn't a huge event type of picture. It was just a picture of Paige in the yard playing in the little sprinkler thing that we had going one day, and she just looked cute. I thought about adding that sentiment sticker down at the bottom, but then I thought it just kind of was too much. I didn't want to cover up a lot of the rays and the pink mixed media down there at the bottom, so I just kind of left it alone. I do add my journaling down there. I'm going to come in with some gold Heidi Swap Color Shine, just because there was a little bit of gold in one of the stickers, and then I did add my journaling and the date stamp at the bottom, and that's the final layout. I love how it turned out. I love how it looks soft, yet it still looks bright and sunny. You still get the idea of her being outside in her swimsuit, and there's sun and clouds, but yet it's still kind of on the soft side, and I love how that turned out. And I still use my favorite colors, pink, teal, and yellow all together. Cannot go wrong with that color combo. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see what you make with your kits. Have a great day.